I go back to my shelf and pull down a book because I'm looking for some aspect I wrote about that will have something to do with what I'm writing about now, and I have to look something up in my books, and I'm always not overcome, but always kind of stuck on the idea, like, where did I think about this story, or where did it come from? And it's really fascinating. I think that's really the magic of writing, where inspiration comes from, where an idea kind of bonds with inspiration, and you go off and start writing. In my case, usually it takes me almost a year to write a book. And that's a huge commitment of time, and so I am very careful about deciding what I'm going to write about, because the last thing I want to do is head off and in 2 months say, you know what, this is not doing it for me, or I'm bored by this idea, or this idea is not working. So I spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm going to write, and I try to be as sure as possible before I set off on the path. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about where the reversal comes from. Most often my ideas are not a single idea that hits me like a lightning bolt and says, this is what you must write about. It's usually 2 or 3 disparate ideas that somehow come together and intersect. And in that intersection is the spark of inspiration. And I usually say, okay, this is it. This is going to work. And I'm going to head off in this direction. The main trigger for this book, if you will, was the character of Mickey Holler. About 5 years ago I wrote a book, or I should say I published a book, called The Lincoln Lawyer, and it was about this criminal defense attorney and named Mickey Holler. And Mickey was a guy who was quite opposite from what I've been doing most of my writing career. For the most part, I write about a detective named Harry Bosch, LAPD detective named Harry Bosch. And I think I'm all consumed by Harry Bosch as a writer, and I think at the end of my time as a writer, Harry will be the guy who stands for me. But to keep Harry going and keep him alive, I can't write about him every day, 365 days a year. I have to take breaks from him. I have to go off and try other things. And so one time I went off and tried this, what I thought would be the flip side of the same coin. Harry's a detective. He searches out the answers. He puts people in jail. Here's a guy who defends people who have been put in jail, Mickey Holler. So I thought it would be a 1-year sojourn away from Harry Bosch, recharge my batteries about Harry Bosch, and write about this guy who's on the other, not only is he the flip side of the coin, but he lives on the opposite side of the hill from Harry. A lot of opposites going on in the